Hello everyone. Welcome to the first masterclass on Totem. This is going to be a simple solution. I think we'll fit it into 2, maximum 3 small videos. By the way, it will be from 1, maximum 2 tables. It will be made based on a query from one of our users. I'll probably give a link to it to the query in the description. And to get started on making this masterclass, I'm counting on you to have watched the first video in the masterclass section about basic lines. Because our entire solution today is going to consist of one simple basic line. It's such a nice finished task, in my opinion, which is suitable for you to see how to start making your own project. That it's not very difficult, and that you shouldn't try to grab everything in the world at once in the first stages. You need to focus on one thing, simple enough, and something that will benefit you. What is the essence of this decision? Now I'm going to show an excerpt from the final part, when we've already done everything. So, let's see. What does the final solution that we're about to do look like? There are users, they can add accounts. Some account we're going to add here. They can add a company or they can select an existing amount. They can upload an invoice file. Here it's added. It can't say this invoice is due, accepted or paid. He can't see other users' invoices and he can't switch there. The manager, who is the supervisor of these people, he can select users, sees all the user accounts, can say, yes, here's this invoice in payment. The director who manages all of this sees here. Well, immediately by default he can look at, of course, everything that's there, but by default he only sees what's required for him, what he needs to review, what the manager has put in. He says, yes, I authorize this to be paid. And the accountant already sees directly those invoices that are standing in for payment, say OK, paid, and paid invoices. So that nobody's invoices are glowing, but they can be accessed. So our user, let's go back to the user. They would see that right there are paid invoices. For example, let's see paid. Here's his bill has been paid. And the amount we have counts that the amount in those who stand to be paid and the amount accepted. That's such a small solution. And now we're going to do this step by step. I've already created 2 fields, bill number, we add bills here. For example, account 4567, and add data. But we're editing here. I'm going to make a change here, so that the date when we add a field is recorded here. And this field can't be changed. I'm going to disable the add here. And for this we're going to use logging as well, we don't need it. We're going to use code for this. Let's say a quick variable that this is the current date. And I'll say execute the code only when adding. Now what's going to happen when we add a field? Here's the current date is going to be substituted here. 6789 for example. Another count. Now we need to add the amount field here. We say add. We say this is going to be a field. Amount. This was a number, we're going to measure something here. As an example, we'll specify a dollar amount. And for example, 2 decimal places. Well, we can include the money format. And now we can write here the amount of, for example, $150. Let's add another field with a file, where to upload the invoice itself. Let's say that this field is file. File, and here is the following information. If you leave it like this, as it is by default, the file that you upload here to the server, it will have an open link at the bottom left in the corner. You can see that it has /FLS194_1_ file. And basically it can be picked up. Naturally, you know the last prefix is the line number. And that's how you can pick up accesses to other files. And in the MIT version you have the maximum way you can guard against this is to say that the field with a hash at the end. In that case, when you upload a file, it will have this randomly combined string like this added to the address so that it's harder to pick up. But in a good way you need the Pro version, if you work with files. And you will need to put this checkbox Pro. It is absolutely useless in MIT. It works only in Pro. You can put it once when creating a file. And then you cannot remove it. But when it is active in the Pro version, access to files will be in accordance with the access rights of the user who interacts with the table. If there are no permissions, he will not be able to access another user. I am talking about this because here we have requirements that different users download their invoices, but do not see the invoices of their colleagues. And managers and accountants can see all the invoices that have been uploaded into the system. Okay, another thing we want to see is we want to see which user added that invoice at once. Of course, Totem has logs. And we can say right-click the log, see that the administrator made changes here. But often we want to see right away who created the row. So what do we do? Let's say it's users. And make it a select type. This is a field that selects data from other tables. Tell it that it has a width of 200. We'll connect a filter so that we can select. That's how we disable everything for now, no logging. Okay, now there's an error because we don't have the select parameters created. Here they are. There's a whole section about select in the tutorial. But for now, we don't need anything special. We'll say here that we select the View Fast Identification Object field from the Users table. We don't care about the order at all. Okay, we're going to erase all of this, and this is going to be a single value. Okay, now we have a field that's not editable. Let me turn on edit for a second and let's see what we have. We're now going to have a drop-down here from the users of this system. We can turn that off for now. And now we need to code to say that we want to get the user ID here. And that's done with a quick noUser variable like this. Okay, we have this as a simple table, so we need to recalculate the rows here in order for the code changes to apply. Here they are, admin, admin. About this you see the units of recalculations in the training course code section. And we need to do the same thing here. We don't want it to reset to the current user every time. We're putting that only when you add. Here it's going to record what the admin added on this line. Now we have 2 checkboxes, even 3 checkboxes. The first one is in payment. We're all just going to do a checkbox. There's not going to be any changes here for now, like in payment. The second one will be confirmed. Also a checkbox. We're not going to do that yet, either. And the third one won't be a checkbox, let's do it. But we'll say it will be paid. And we'll select a date here. And the accountant will enter the date when he paid this invoice. And we will know that the invoice is paid. We'll also make a counterparty field to select here the company that we're paying to, so that we can search. I'm also going to make a select until I fill it out. Make it wide. Okay, let's save it. Here we go. We're going to make a table with these counterparties. This will be in the directory, called in the logic. Well, the table type will also be a simple table. I make prefixes so that I can upload this solution. You can download it. And my tables will not overlap with your tables in any way. That's why I make a prefix. And when you create a table, you don't have to do it. If you don't expect that your solution will be replicable, that is, you will upload it. And then some other people will upload the whole or part of your solution to their databases. This is also a simple table. We leave everything here as default. And we'll add one field here. The contractor, 300, the default string field. And for example, we're going to have one company for now, SpaceX here. We're going to plug in the contractor right here. This is again selects. Another one, by the way. There's a way to access the codes is to click here. Mouse over here in the header and open the big field with the code. And this is where we do what? We search, the search works. TTM1 contractors field. Here we already have one contractor. We erase everything else. Shift-Tab highlights the next block. Okay. Select. Now we can select SpaceX here. We'd like to be able to add new contractors right from here. We'll say here that there's a filter. This group change means that you can change several rows at the same time. It's up to your preference here. Maybe multiple accounts are added in there and then one is selected in there for multiple accounts at once. One contractor. And here we'll do what? We're going to say this is the table to change and we're going to find our TTM1 contractors. Contractor. So that we can now add right from here. Here we've got a blue plus sign. We can say this is going to be, for example, Apple. Okay, it's immediately automatically substituted here. That's the new value there. We can see, here they are added here from there. Of course, this works when the user who opens this thing has access to edit some table. But we'll probably talk about user access. We'll talk about that in the next video. That's all we have done with the fields. Now in the next video we're going to discuss how to make a prefilter and how to differentiate access to these prefilters. As homework, do approximately what I have shown you and then let's go to the next video.